In July, once again, we saw the Perth residential market continue to grow. We saw prices up again significantly, and that's right across the board, and both in the unit market and also the home market as well. The rental market is softening a little bit, which is good news for tenants, but overall, the vacancy rates are still quite low. The Reserve Bank left interest rates on hold at its meeting in August, which is great news for home buyers and investors. And the sentiment in the market now is that we're likely to see those rates stay on hold. Inflation seems to be coming down, albeit slower than we all hoped. The good news is that we think interest rates are definitely going to stay on hold and not increase, and hopefully they'll be coming down sometime in 2025. In July, we saw the Perth median house price reach $675,000, which is 19.5% more than it was 12 months ago, according to REIWA stats. We also saw the unit price come back to $450,000, which is the first time it's been at that level since 2014. And that's up over 12% over the previous 12 months. The number of properties available for sale is incredibly low. We're still sitting below 3,300 properties overall. That's just way too few properties for us to have any sense of getting close to a balanced market. The median days to sell is still sitting around very low numbers. We're sitting at 9 days for homes, and also we're sitting at 9 days for units. Now, a balanced market would see us sitting around 35 or so days to sell a property. So if you're out there buying, still very challenging conditions. In July, we saw Perth's median rent stabilise. We saw $650 a week for houses and $620 a week for units. So unit rents did increase, albeit house rents stayed much the same. The median days to rent a house is sitting at 18 days, which is starting to increase a little bit. And we are seeing the stock for rent advertised increasing as well. We're sitting at over 2,500 properties. Now that was below 2,000 only several months ago. So it's good news for tenants. We're certainly not seeing it and calling it as a tenant market, but we are seeing some stabilisation. And that is because some people are getting into their homes that are being completed from the home building boosts and grants. Some people are staying at home longer, staying with friends, family or parents, and some people are sharing more. So hopefully for tenants, the market's coming back into balance. And for investors, the yields are still pretty good though. Even though we're seeing rents stabilise, the rental returns are still pretty solid. And that's why we're still seeing a lot of activity from investors in the Perth property market. Lots of really strong growth suburbs in Perth in July. We saw Heathridge as a top performing suburb, up 4.6% for the month. We also saw Coodin up 3.8%, Wannon up 3.6%, Swanview up 3.5%, and Quinns Rocks up 3.2% as the top performing suburbs. Again, as we continue to see each month, we saw right up to Quinns Rocks in the north of Perth, down to Wannon in the south of Perth near Mandurah, and right out to Swanview. So quite a broad variety of suburbs performing particularly well in Perth. This month, our suburb spotlight is Bayswater. Bayswater is a great prime location and properties range from riverside and larger lots right through to townhouses, villas and apartments. The suburb attracts lots of investors as well as home buyers. It sits only about 6 to 7 kilometres from the CBD. Now, why is it appealing? Because it is nearer to suburbs that are certainly a lot more higher in value. We see Mount Laurel in Inglewood, nearby suburbs, where there's been a lot of demand, and that's flowing through into Bayswater. But really importantly, the train lines and the train systems coming through Bayswater are going to make it a really central hub for activity and for transport in the future of Perth. We now have the Morley-Allenbrook line, which will come online later this year. That will be certainly an important train line coming through that area. It's always had the Midland train line, but also now has the Perth Airport line. What we will see around the Perth station is a lot more density of housing. We'll start to see more job opportunities as well. REIWA says that the median house price in Bayswater is $835,000, and that's experienced strong annual growth of over 15% for the year. The suburb's median rental price for houses is $650 a week, and that's risen 10.2% over the last 12 months. So Bayswater, I think, is a really great suburb. It's certainly not cheap anymore. You're paying a fairly high median price compared to the overall Perth average. But I certainly think, given all the fundamentals, it's a suburb we believe will grow in value consistently and well over the longer term. So in summary, the Perth property market is still very strong. We're seeing house prices rising, units prices rising, and still incredibly low stock for sale. The rental market is more balanced. We are seeing more stock come available for rental, and that's certainly good news for tenants. But from an investor's point of view, there's still really good yields out there, and we think, albeit rents are slowing at the moment, in the medium term we're going to continue to see rent price growth. So it's really hard to get a home out there in the market. Our buyers agents are certainly working very hard, but we're getting a lot of off-market opportunities, which is fantastic for our clients. If you'd like more information on what's happening in the market, or you'd like to learn how to invest in property, please visit our website at momentumwealth.com.au or give us a call on 9221 6399. One of our team will be delighted to help you.